whenever you're watching this, we're doing a book review
again.
Thingy part 2.
Yes.
Yeah, we just thought we would come on by again and do some talking and talk about our books, maybe bring in some new ones.
We have updates.
And also this time we brought drinks, as you can tell by the mugs.
Gabby made us some lattes.
I made us some lattes.
Do you want to start us off on this book review, Gabby?
All right,
Let's
get straight into it. Back to Empire of Shadows. Yes. There hasn't been much, but that's also because I've been very lightly reading it.
It happens.
It's okay. It's life. I guess. She has made it to the city. I forget if I mentioned that before, but she, came with, I think the lady's called, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but it's like Reviatha. It's a fancy, noble lady. She's pretty fancy. She's pretty up there in class. And yeah, she finally made it there. And their security is pretty crazy. The lady she was with is like listing all the things about like, oh yeah, if you get caught on like certain grounds and you don't have like a permit pass to walk through, you're gonna go to jail. And it's like, oh gosh.
One of those kind of places.
It's one of those kind of places.
Also, is it Mara or Amara?
It's Mara.
Okay.
M-R-A-R. Wait, no. M-A-R.
Marara.
We met
Reviathan's grandma.
that. We can just go with that name.
Reviathan.
Yeah, we met her grandma, and she was an interesting lady. Okay, well, she's not bad. Honestly, she didn't act bad. If anything, she was really generous and nice and good, and she has a good humor. She has good humor. Mara said something that made Revi go, gasp! You said that in front of her? And then, of course, the old lady she is, this kind of trope or whatever, she's like, ha! You're funny.
Wow.
Yep.
That's good.
And then, Revi is all like, oh no, you can't just say she's nice. No, she's more than that. She's honestly scary. She knows how to run things or whatever.
The grandma's scary?
Yes. In a way, she's just that good.
Huh. Well, I guess that's grandma's for you.
That's just grandma's for you.
Did you have something to say about Emile?
I did. Unfortunately, Emile has... Actually, I'm going to start with Stefan.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Stefan, he has decided to run away. And there is a reason. He didn't just up and run nowhere. He ran off to go with this like battalion army troop that came walking by during the little like market thing that happened in their camp and stuff. And yeah, I forget how much I talked about before, but earlier before this happened, there was a few things that happened earlier before this, but that's pretty important, so I'm just gonna go backtracking basically. There was an argument between Stefan, Emile, and the father, being like, you shouldn't have done that, and yeah, and then this guy, he just comes in, and he's from the battalion troop, he's like, I think one of the leader guys, and he's like, hey, you know your son? He's pretty good, actually.
Stefan's pretty good?
Stefan's pretty good, actually, and I think your sons are in the right, so don't go too hard on them.
It's like Toph.
Sir. Yeah.
Airbender.
How?
Because I think she had a teacher who was like, she's actually like really good. But then the parents were like, no, she's our little one. We must keep her safe. I don't think the father in your book was like, we gotta keep Stefan safe, but he just overlooks Stefan.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can put this. That does very little. I don't want to block you. Office chairs.
I'll just that's good. This is good.
I feel so big.
Yeah, so there was this guy who came in. He's all like, hey, your sons are actually really great. And yeah, and then now, Stefan's feeling a bit better of himself. Like, hey, someone is actually appreciating me and what I do. And my spirit for, trying to be in the right. Obviously, maybe I'm not in the right. He doesn't really see it that way. But, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think he sees it that way. And yeah, so there he's got that. And then at some point, I think it's after that conversation, Emil and father get together, they have a conversation. Get a wife, he says.
The father says?
Yeah, the father says to Emil, get a wife.
Chop,
chop, wiki, wiki. You should do that. And you should be a leader. Why don't you be a leader? He finally said it to his father, like, I don't want to be a leader.
Ooh.
I want to be like Uncle.
It's like Kung Fu Panda being like, I don't want to be...
I don't want to serve noodles.
It's like that.
But you had the noodle dream.
I didn't have the noodle dream, Dad.
Lied. I remember what he said.
Yeah. But that's something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, and the dad's dream was broken.
He was broken, but he still loved his son.
Well, that's something.
That's something.
It's not bad at all. Quite generous for this genre, I feel.
I'm not talking about my book.
Oh.
Are you?
I thought you were talking
I'm
about
not.
your book.
I was talking about Kung Fu
Okay, it
Panda.
makes sense that there's going to be some drama. The father can't just be like, I still love you, son.
No, Emil left the room before his father could say anything because he said something. Is like, I think it was about, I don't know, being like, oh, is that the way you think? When life gets hard, you just be like, it's good enough. I forget what the actual conversation was. And then he just left. And I'm like, oh, well, there goes that. And yeah. And then later, he snaps at Stefan. And that just really encourages him to go. And then he leaves. And then Emil's like, shoot, I messed up.
So he sort of banished his son, or?
No, he didn't banish his son. They were about to move camp and stuff. And then that the next morning, no one could find Stefan, and it makes sense that he ran away, and they know where, obviously, because of the whole like troop thing. I might not be explaining this well.
I'm not following. When I get what, I guess there's just two things going on that it's like I can follow them individually, but.
Well, what are you confused about?
Well, you said Emil was talking to his dad. He told his dad, I don't want to be a leader, and so he left. And his father was like, yeah, go away, or something. I don't remember what words you used, but you said something that made it sound like he was sent away, which is why I thought he was banished. But then you started talking about Stefan and how he left with the troop. And I get him leaving with the troop, but I'm just confused about what happened with Emil.
Are we talking about the Week of Silence? Or...
No?
Okay. I don't know. There were separate fights. I don't think he ever said go away. I'm sorry if I said that. I don't remember saying.
So then what happened with the fight between the father and Emil? Emil just left, and
Emil
that was
just left, and that was it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Chill. Yeah, and he came back. He was like, hey, Stefan's missing. And he's like, wow. He was so chill about it, actually. I'm remembering the father was so chill about it. He was like, oh, well,
one less
time to move
problem for
camp.
me to worry
One
about.
less problem for me to worry about. Let's get you a wife. Let's focus on our problems. Your problems, actually. My problems are your problems. Your problems are my problems, actually.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you've read so far?
Basically, yeah. They've actually... Okay, well, they made it to camp. They made it to the camp where they know Stefan is in, most likely. So now they're just searching.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, well, on to you.
Okay. So, kind of have 3 books to talk about this time. One of them, I don't have too much to say, but I finished Eleanor Oliphant. Yeah, so basically, I think pretty soon after I said in the last video that I'm like, this is going just really slow, it was picking up. Uh-oh. Of course, it's my turn to talk. I start getting it.
I'm just thinking up with yours.
Yeah, things were picking up, and I don't really want to say exactly what happened, but, well, I probably will be kind of spoiling something, so again, if you don't want spoilers...
We can give you, like, a time thing in the video.
I don't,
or something.
I mean, maybe, but my spoilers are kind of going to be throughout the review of this video, so, I mean, yeah, for this book at least. But yeah, basically, one spoiler I will give is that her, and this is not really spoilers since basically everybody knows it's going to happen, but her love interest dude, it did not go well. She went to a concert of his all dressed up thinking that he would notice her and, you know, they would be together forever, and that went very poorly. She saw what an idiot he was.
Aww.
And he didn't see her or care about her at all. And then I'm so bad at remembering details in books. So if you've read this and you're like, that is literally not even really what happened, I'm sorry, I'm trying to give the best memory. So this is, don't take it that seriously. This is just my impression of it. But basically, something happened at the concert that kind of set off her sort of PTSD because she was, you know, had quite the traumatic experience as a child, and it kind of just reminded her of it. And so that sent her in a bit of a spiral.
Wait, what was her PTSD? I didn't forget if you mentioned this last time, but what was her PTSD that she got when she was a kid?
Well, basically her mom set fire to their house while she was in it. That's why she went to the foster care and all that. Yeah, and so I don't remember exactly what happened at the concert, but there was a loud noise or smoke machines or something happened, and she was just freaked out by it. And the combination of that resetting off all her memories and the failure of her love interest just kind of set her down a spiral. Basically, the rest of this is probably going to be low-key spoilers. But basically, the guy, I was going to call him Emil, Raymond, that's his name, I remember his name. Raymond, who's kind of been with her the whole book, not with her, like, boyfriend, girlfriend, just in her life. Platonic, yeah. He was helping her through that, and he was helping her through that. She ended up going to a therapist, which was helpful, and they kind of revealed some crazy things, which you can sort of see coming. Yeah, it's not, there's one twist thing that I totally didn't see coming. This is like the biggest spoilers in the book. So if you haven't went away yet and don't want the biggest spoiler, go. But basically, she had a sister, and the sister was burned in the fire and died in the fire, and she, guess, really repressed that memory, and that kind of came out during therapy that happened. And then at the very end, I kind of saw that one coming. I don't remember why, but I saw it coming that someone else close to her had died in the fire. But the thing I didn't see coming, which I've heard in some reviews of this, that people did see it coming. But apparently, during the book, she's calling her mom, and her mom's always a giant jerk to her, but she calls her mom every Wednesday. Well, her mom calls her every Wednesday. She doesn't know how to reach her mom, but it's revealed at the very end that her mom was actually never calling her. It was just kind of a figment of her imagination, basically. And yeah, so that one surprised me. Yeah, so that was like a whoa. But yeah, and like the last, I don't know, third of the book maybe, or quarter of the book, yeah, it picked up. I saw a review of this of a lady who I tend to agree with on reviews, and she thought it didn't really pick up enough at the end for her to feel like it was worth it, and I feel like that's understandable. But for some reason, it did enough for me. By the end, I was like, hey, things are finally moving, woohoo! Yeah, and I appreciated that. Again, spoiler, not that I need to keep saying it, but that her relationship with Raymond the whole time was such a slow thing, and even by the end, I don't remember if they might have had like a very like a kiss on the cheek or like some sort of indication that they were going to progress in a romantic sort of way, but I did appreciate the slow burn.
That's more your style.
Yeah, I'm not that I don't like
a more quicker pace one.
Yeah, because that would be fine too, but
yeah.
In the same way that I didn't like how slow the book was, I also appreciated it. Like, I can tell it's very well written, like it's a high quality book, even though it was quite slow and just not really my style, but that's just a personal preference thing. But again, like I said in the last video, if you read the first few chapters and you like how it is, you're probably gonna like the rest of the book. So that is my thought. I finished it. Don't know that I'll read it again. I would give it like a 2.5 stars maybe. Like, I can tell it's a good book. It's just not quite my thing.
2.5?
Yeah.
2.5.
Out of 5.
Out of 5. Okay. I'm like, first thing I thought was like out of 10. I'm like, yeesh. Yeesh.
No, not quite that bad. Or maybe 2. Maybe, I don't know, 2 to 2.5.
That seems good.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
And then, do you want to go back to your book?
I can. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Now the next book I have, which I'm actually doing a full-on review on, I've actually already finished this book. It is Murder at the Royal Botanic Garden, and it was a murder mystery, if you couldn't tell.
Who's it by?
It is by Andrea Penrose, I believe is how you say her name. I took this book off the shelf. I'm like, oh, sure, this looks good. I didn't realize it's a series. There's 10 others, actually. This is the 5th one. But I didn't seem to have any troubles with it. So it seems like you can probably start from like any spot in the series and be fine with it. But it was a pretty good read. I liked it. It made me feel things when I thought I got it right. I thought I got the murder right, and I fell right into the author's hands, and I got so annoyed. But let me actually give you the plot. Sorry, I'm jumping way too ahead. So, man, it's been a minute since I found this book. It'll come to me. Basically, there's, I would say, 2 main characters. You might have already read the series, but there's a main character named Charlotte and another character named Rexford. And those 2 characters are soon to be married. And yes, and the time period is like, I don't know if that matters. I don't know. It seems like 18 something, 1800s. would be my guess.
Can we look at it?
Yeah.
Looks a bit Bridgerton-esque, perhaps Regency era. 1810s, 20s, something like that. Regency London, yes.
So there's this gathering party, where this I forget what they're called, but like they do like classes, or they give some sort of like speech, or just like some sort of like, hey, I'm here to talk about this kind of big thing and stuff. And there's this guy named Becton, and he is a botanist. He's a botanist, and he made this really wild discovery that he was going to talk about in this party, I believe. Because of Becton's wild discovery, his secretive discovery that he didn't tell anyone about, people got greedy. Specifically, one. No. Well, I guess so, because one of them, he did kill him. So
you're just giving away that Becton's the murderer.
Becton's the murderer. I'm saying Becton's the victim.
Oh, okay. You made it sound like, and they were all really jealous of what he had to say. Well, but then he killed him.
So then Becton got killed, of course, for his discovery. And when later Rexford and some other people found the body, that's when we met another new important character named Hozak, and he is a doctor, and he was pretty close. He was friends with Becton, so he was quite sad at this really devastating, unfortunate event. And then Charlotte also witnessed the murder, but she is not an. I was about to say innocent lady. She's not. I don't want to say it like that. She's
not a suspect.
No, she's not a child when it comes to murder and gore and stuff. So she's kind of like comfortable with that stuff actually. So she's like also involved in this whole thing, trying to figure it out and stuff. And yeah, so like during the process, they're just like trying to figure out who the murderer is, and there's a bunch of twists and turns, making you like wonder who's the murderer is, because they're giving you a whole list of like suspects. There's this guy named DeVere. There's Marco. There's, I'm sure, some others. Oh, there's this like army guy. I forget what his name was. And yeah. my first thought was I thought it was Marco, because they're like, oh, describing him as a really tall guy. I'm like, oh. And then when we like first met Marco, he was like, oh, he's a really tall guy. And I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing. Are you making this too easy for me, author? And then later found out, nope. And then found out, oh, Marco's not it. Of course he's not it. And then the other two guys, you thought he was it. No, they're not it either. They're dead. They died. Someone killed him. Them, actually. They killed 2 people. And the murderer killed 2 other people.
Such a bad move.
Such a bad move?
If you're the murderer, to kill 2 of the suspects.
Yeah, you'd want to leave them open.
Just narrow it down so people know who you are.
But also, I think our killer, he has morals in a way, because the 2 people he killed, the 2 people were involved in, like, slave trading stuff. So he could have just wanted to get rid of them. And also Devere, I think, was possibly, I don't know, wanting to scam the murder, because maybe he knew, I don't know, I forget. Yeah, I could be totally botching this up right now, and I'm so sorry if I am, whoever has read this book. It's been a minute.
Yeah, just for future knowledge, we botch reviews.
We botch reviews.
Just know that.
If you want to come to this channel for botch reviews, come to us.
Yes. We got you. We got you the hookup.
Yes. Charlotte has... There's these 2 kids who I really love, who know Charlotte, and Charlotte knows them pretty well. I don't know when she met them, but she met them. And there's Hawk and there's Raven, and they both have very good skills. And Hawk likes to draw, and then he's just so smart. Oh, okay. I'm jumping around a little bit. Gosh, this is terrible. Also, this whole time during the murder, they don't know what Becton's discovery was, because he never got to announce it or whatever. Since that whole stuff was stolen and stuff.
Stuff was stolen. What was stolen? His discovery?
Yeah, his discovery.
So the person killed him because he wanted the accolades for the discovery, or
the accolades,
like the recognition for it.
I forget what his want was. Out of
Forget why he killed him. He just. So I guess it's just it was for the recognition, basically.
We can go with that. See, botched. Yep. And so, but yeah, back to it. Hawk. He was like doing whatever. He was in some like planetarium or some sort of just room thing, and he's like, "Hey, I drew this," and they're like, "This is pretty. This is good, Hawk. Great job. Where'd you get this?" I'm like, "Oh, I drew it. It's I forget."
I mean, the important thing in my mind is just who killed him, basically. Like, the big reveal. What was that like? Like, what happened?
The thing is, I'm still confused about who the murderer
Well, that's a problem.
That is a problem, because I looked it up just to be, like, reassured. I'm like, okay, I got the murderer right, didn't I? Well, obviously, I didn't. But just, like, once I finished the book, I'm like, okay. I don't know why, but I double-checked with Google, and it said Lord Sterling, and I thought it was von Stockhausen. And it wasn't.
Whoa, that's weird.
Yeah, because they did this whole thing, and then he's crazy because I don't know, and, like, it makes sense that it'd be von Stockhausen. And throughout the whole book, I never saw Lord Sterling, I don't think, in this book. So I'm confused. So I almost, like, wonder if, like, Google, because also maybe it was AI that I was talking to, so maybe AI mixed up another book. So gosh, now I've been spoiled. I don't know. So I want to say von Stockhausen.
Okay, well, it was either von Stockhausen or Lord Sterling, apparently. Maybe it was both. Well, is there more you want to talk about, or?
Do you have any more questions for me?
Well, I'm not familiar with murder mystery books. They're not my genre, so I don't know how they usually go, but is the plot just trying to figure out who did it?
Normally.
And that was what in this book? They were just, like, how do they figure out who's doing it, like what's going on the whole book.
They would try and go to like places that like Becton would go to, or like anywhere like connected to botany, and like sometimes like family would come over and it's like, oh, you're doing botany and stuff, like, oh wow. And there's just like accidents where people like run into people and they're like, I thought you were the murderer. Like, no, I'm not the murderer, I came here. And then it makes sense because there's like more victims to the story who are greedy, so then they're trying to like kill off people who got more than the person who okay, well, for starters, there was this guy named Marco, and he was also kind of close with Becton in a way, and Becton was going to give him like a little bit of knowledge about what he was doing. And the guy, DeVere, and his other partner dude, I believe there was like a night where Marco was invited to come over to DeVere's place, and I think DeVere was going to do something dirty to Marco. But then before that could happen, DeVere and his partner were shot, and just they were killed basically, and bad stuff. And yeah, so it's like stuff like that happens where like Rexford and Hozak and stuff like that, they bump into Marco and they're like, I thought you were the killer, you dirty scumbag and stuff. And yeah, and like, no, I'm not the killer. That's why I'm not the killer. Like, dang it. He gives reason, and then there's just more dots, so there's just like collides of people running in a big mess, and then that mess gets untangled like a bunch of Christmas lights.
Okay. Well, maybe to give a brain break from the murder mystery, I could talk about Promise.
That sounds good.
So I don't have Promised because I needed to return it. But basically, I decided to not finish it because so you're getting to the point finally where you're about to figure out why Williams has been so weird and not forthcoming with why he wants to marry Margaret. And just the way it's done. This is going to be spoilers. Wait, then I probably shouldn't tell you, so I won't. But you're getting to that point, and the way they do it is just so... It's like gross and drama-y, in my opinion. I think it's the kind of thing that like Gabby would like, because it's just that all that like and I can't stand it. And so I didn't even read to the part where it revealed why Williams was gonna marry Margaret, because I just couldn't get through. And then it'll be nice once you do read it, and then we can just talk freely about it, and I don't have to try and not spoil things for her. But yeah. So that was that.
It's a shame.
And then I also started reading Princess Bride. So yeah, you've probably seen the movie, so I'm gonna spoil things. And there's not, I'm not even gonna go into great detail because I assume you kind of know what the story's about. But it's funny. I haven't seen this movie in a decent bit of time. I've seen it as a somewhat adult, but I guess, yeah, not super enough that I can compare very well to the book. But the book does follow I guess the movie followed the book quite well. I didn't realize it so much as a kid watching the movie, but it's kind of like doesn't take itself seriously like a normal like action romance book. Yeah, it is a joke, and the book might even lean into that more. Yeah, it's pretty silly. There's even this, it's called a meta joke apparently, where the author of this
Who is the author?
Thank you. William Goldman is the author, but he sort of, the actual author jokes that this guy S. Morgenstern wrote the book, and that William Goldman only is like the editor, I think. And so he jokes that in the original version of this book, it was just like there's hundreds of pages of battle scenes and all these details that don't matter at all. And so William Goldman was editing it out, and you'll have these little interjections in the book where William Goldman will be like, here I edited out 200 pages of battle scenes because S. Morgenstern was ridiculous and just wrote way too much. And then he'll talk about what it was like when his father was reading it to him, which is kind of, again, like the movie, because you, like, come out of the movie and the grandpa will be talking to the grandson about the book. And so it's kind of like that. It's not really the same, but it's so similar sort of deal.
Does it ever get, like, confusing? It's like, oh, we're jumping back into, like, present time instead of...
No, because it's very clearly, like, in italics, and it's like a big block of italics.
Good.
Yeah, so it's not confusing. It's like you definitely, like, if you didn't like that at all, you could quite easily just, like, skip past those blocks of italics and just read the story. But then even just in the story, you can sort of tell that it's kind of making fun of itself a bit, and I find that entertaining. I wonder what it would be like if it was more like a regular book.
Mm-hmm. Less
making fun of itself and more just like an actual genuine, like, romance action story. But it's entertaining for what it is. Yeah, you just kind of have to, like, be cool with that and like that and get into it. And so yeah, I'm doing that. I'm like 100 pages in out of like 300 something. Yeah, it's interesting how sometimes it feels like it goes really fast, kind of like in the movie. Well, I guess the whole movie almost feels like it kind of goes fast, but in the book it'll be like it goes really fast from, like, you're introduced to the characters, and Buttercup doesn't seem to like the farm boy at all, and suddenly she's professing his love for him, and then suddenly he goes off to be on a pirate ship. Well, he goes off to start a life in America, and then on the way he goes on a pirate ship, but you don't know that yet. Or maybe you do, I don't know. Sorry, this is part of the Botched reviews. This could be our channel name, Botched Book Reviews.
Botched Book Reviews.
Botched a Book Review.
Botched a Book Review. Also, I have a question. I'm sorry. I don't know if you've gone there yet, because I know you said just now that, like, Buttercup doesn't really, she's not that very attracted to farm boy.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, can you tell at all if, like, the fluff that you got from Promised is at all, like, similar to this? No?
No, because it's not just like romance it's not just that I find romance hard to read in books. It's like a specific kind of icky, like. And by the way, when I say icky, I don't mean it wasn't like spicy. It wasn't.
It's just not
intimate. It was.
Cup of tea.
There was a word. I was going back and forth with the AI about it. There's a specific word. It's like there's like open door, closed door. It's technically closed door. They didn't even get to a place where you would need to close the door, but it's like closed door. They're not giving like intimate details of romance or anything, but just like her thought process was just like, anyway, I'm not gonna go back to this. But yeah, it's not. You don't have to worry about the spice of that book since it's proper romance, but. It didn't need to have spice for me to not be able to finish it. I just couldn't. Anyway, yeah, this is not like that at all. But also, we had a very short amount of time between Buttercup and Farm Boy where they were
together.
They weren't even They weren't even properly
just, like,
together because he left.
Not like together, but just like
they like each other where they are out there and saying that they like each other. Yeah, there was a short time. Basically, she said that, and then the next night. He was like, I'm going to leave. And she was like, are you going to leave because I told you how I feel about you? And he was like, yes, I'm going to start a life in America and you can join me there. And you're just like, all right then. And then, yeah, he leaves. And then a few years later, the king, I guess, comes and is like, I want you as my wife. And she's like, okay. And then she goes and becomes his wife. And then the same day that, she is pronounced to be his wife, I don't think they were married yet, but basically the village people know that she's going to marry him, the king. That same day she gets kidnapped, and then you're just like, wow, things are moving fast. But then it kind of is moving rather slow, actually. The whole thing, just them going on the boat and then climbing up the cliffs. And then now we're sort of talking about the Spanish guy, Inigo Montoya. We're going into his backstory, and I don't even know if I'm halfway through his backstory, and that's taking some time. And then you're going to go into Fezzik's backstory, and then So yeah, it's like really it goes really fast until it doesn't, which is interesting because I thought, the joke was that he would take out all of the long stuff, but then there's actually some long stuff still in there. So it's just an interesting thing between the really fast and then taking a long time, and taking a long time on the stuff that doesn't seem as interesting as the stuff that is short. But anyway, yeah, so it's fun. It's like I'm not properly into it at the moment because I kind of just want to read East of Eden, sort of, or other books. I ended up reading this. I had it on my holds list, and it ended up becoming available before I wanted it to. And so now I'm just reading it.
Because
you got it. Because I got it, and I don't want to be on a waiting list anymore, so that's not ideal. It'd be nice to read it when I really want to read it, but it's good. I would recommend it if you like the movie. I definitely think give it a try. It's very easy to read, and yeah, it makes fun of itself, but it's good quality.
Go. Nice.
Yeah. I've officially talked about all my books.
Crazy.
Did you talk about all your books? You have nothing else you want to add?
Man, I will say, okay, I feel like Empire Shadows feels very much like a teen book compared to my murder book. I don't know. The teen book is, I would say, a pretty easy read. There's not a lot of big words in there. The only thing is, I know I told you about this, but is the way, there's like one thing that always stands out to me that I feel like this author does quite a lot. Whenever like they're listing something, instead of just like doing pizza, olives, or like olives, tomatoes, pepperoni, they do and olives and pepperoni and cheese. They do that, and it's kind of funny, and they do that like every time. and yeah, so there's just like certain things where I'm like, that seems interesting. So every now and then the writing style kind of gets to me. But compared to Murder at the Royal Botanic Garden, I gotta say this was like kind of a difficult book to read. It was in the adult section, and yeah, it's a adult mystery, and the writing style was very much like back then, fancy words and stuff, and they're using big words, and I made a whole dictionary for it actually, just to write down those words and understand them. Yeah, I mean, but like whenever I looked up the definition, I'm like, yeah, I mean that fits like what the character's talking about like perfectly, and I that's really good. But I would have to like sit in like a certain room for me to be able to read it, and it would take me like 5 tries to understand the sentence. So it's one of those books where I need to be concentrated, and yeah. But like besides that, I really liked it a lot. I am not a big swear person, so the swearing was very light. The most they used was hell, and that was it. And like maybe a few DAMN. A few times they used that. But like that was it, and I'm happy about that. So that was really good.
On the swearing note, I also want to say Eleanor Oliphant did occasionally have some swearing. And I've heard that with European authors, which I don't actually know if Gail Honeyman is European, but it takes place in Scotland, so I would imagine she's from at least the UK or Scotland, and I've heard that European authors tend to have more swearing in their books. And this was not like, it was not profuse, but they didn't shy away from swear. I don't know, shy away makes it sound like there's more than there is. I don't know. There were some F words, and I don't appreciate that, but it wasn't enough that I was really bothered by it. And it wasn't like F you or anything. It was just like
using it as in vain, but not against someone. Just
like those effing birds keep pooping on me.
Yeah.
Well, not that, because that's saying effing birds. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
No,
Like,
I think I get you.
It wasn't.
It's like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Botched book reviews.
Botched book reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you don't like any swearing in your book, I would probably maybe just don't read Eleanor Oliphant. But if you're like, I don't like it, but if it's not profuse, then it'll be fine. Then it might be fine. But it was yeah, the amount of swearing in the book was kind of on the cusp for me. And because I didn't even like the book all that much, I don't feel like it was a worthwhile read if that's how you feel about books. So maybe just steer clear of it. But
I like that. That seems good. Yeah.
Funny way to finish the video talking about
Talking about
books.
Yeah.
Princess Bride doesn't have any swearing.
It doesn't seem like the thing too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's YA, so technically, which is interesting. I wouldn't have thought of it as a YA book, but it is. It's inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. It made me very happy to read that moment. Well, this has been Botched Reviews with Gabby and Lexi.
Hope you enjoyed. Come back maybe next time.
If we make a next time.
If we make a next time. And maybe with tea.
Yeah.
Or coffee.
Or coffee.
Or coffee again.
Let us know down in the comments below if you want more
Botched reviews.
Botched Reviews.